Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a lovely 35mm rose gold Vacheron reference 81160. This timepiece from the early 2000s is 35mm in diameter by 6.9mm thick. It is 40.8mm from lug to lug with an 18mm spacing between the lugs, all in lush and lovely rose gold. On my wrist, it has the look of a traditional mid-20th century dress watch. Vacheron, easily the most conservative of the Holy Trinity, persisted even through the mid-2000s with traditional dress watch sizes, and that's what we have here. Now, the fact that it is less than 41mm from lug to lug means I'm not going to prescribe a lower limit of wrist size to wear this watch well. I'm just going to advise that it is very much a unisex option, and given its low profile, it will fit underneath any kind of sleeve or cuff. As you can see here, we have a strap, black, matte finish, large rectangular scale alligator leather, monotone stitch, sheer cut edge. It is calfskin on the bottom, and as you can see, this is a brand new Vacheron Constantin factory strap with a matching Maltese cross motif, polished pin buckle. The entirety of the case is polished, and you can see it is almost a knife edge design, being sleek with a traditional tumble home from the case band down to the back, so when it nestles down on the wrist, it looks half as thick as it really is. You can see that the lugs, if you look very careful, were welded into slots in the case flank. This is a very expensive and traditional way of making a case. It's time consuming because after the weld, which is laborious, you have to move and take out all of the evidence of the welded joint all the way around. On all four sides, you have to take away the evidence of the weld to create this perfectly smooth break between lug and case flank. As you can see, the bezel and the mid case are all one piece, so it's seamless when viewed from the top. We have a small Maltese cross logo on the crown, sapphire crystal over an opaline silver that is frosted silver dial. We have applied rose gold indices and Roman numerals. We have the applied rose gold Vacheron logo, and as you can see, the a priori marks making a late appearance. This was one of the last watches to feature the so-called Sigma marks, which were introduced in the 1970s at the urging of a Swiss precious metals trade group to encourage watchmakers that used gold hands, indices, or even solid gold dials to label the dials appropriately to advertise the presence of true solid gold. And this was adopted by many brands, but few persisted with it into the late 90s and early 2000s. This Vacheron would have been one of the last in the early 2000s by any brand to feature those Sigma marks. We have a little crosshair, small second down at 6 o'clock, and polished rose gold leaf-style hands with a black polished cannon pinion. We have a movement that is historically important, as it was one of the very first Vacheron in-house calibers. This is caliber 1400. You can see it right there on the bridge. It's 1400 AS. It's the small seconds version of the 1400. It is a tiny movement, but an exquisite one. It's only 20.65mm across. Manual wind. It has a 40-hour power reserve. It has 20 pivot jewels. It's adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer. And that 40-hour power reserve unfurls at 8 beats per second. You can see the balance. You can also appreciate that it is Geneva Hallmark. Now, you can achieve a Geneva Hallmark level of finish with far less attention to detail than Vacheron lavished on this watch. You could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sharp interior angles where bevels meet and form that sharp inward cleft. Even today, that's still just about impossible to achieve with mechanical finishing methods in mass production. You can also see sharp outward points like the upper edge of the balance cock, where two bevels meet and come to a point. We have perfectly aligned Côte de Genève across the bridges, engine turning in 2 different sizes on the base plate. All of the screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots and circumference. We have a lovely frosting and solarization on the ratchet wheel. Everything about this movement is outstanding. It's a little giant and a small gem. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, and remember, this was one of the first ever Vacheron timepieces with an in-house Vacheron caliber. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.